Stress is an increased psychological burden that disturbs the body's balance and changes the degree of readiness to act. Causes of stress. Stressors are very diverse and can be characterized from different points of view. The strength and extent of stressors impact varies. From catastrophic events involving entire groups, major changes affecting individuals or several people, to minor daily worries. We can experience short-term stressful events, for example, control at work, visits of disliked relatives of the person we care for. Chronic stress, which is, for example, the result of an incurable disease of our client. A series of stressful events in which the initiating event causes further stressful situations, such as job loss. Stress events differ in their controllability, i.e., to what extent their occurrence, course, and consequences depend on the intentional action of the person involved. At one extreme, we have uncontrolled situations, for example, the sudden death of our senior as the result of an accident. At the other, controlled, for example, diseases that can be effectively prevented when appropriate treatment taken. The control of most stressful events is limited. They are partially controlled in some respects under certain conditions or up to a point in time. Stress situations can have a different nature. They can be external to us, inherent in our life and the professional environment. For example, dangerous nature phenomena, weather, pollution, inconvenient physical conditions at work, for example, noise, smell, sound, room temperature. Social situations, for example, relationship with other people, constant criticism of the task we perform. Part of stressful situations depends on our internal characteristics. For example, setting unrealistic goals to achieve, undertaking too many tasks or roles that are mutually exclusive or conflicting with each other, too high standards of action that are impossible to achieve in our work, perfectionism, our lifestyle. Recognizing the symptoms of stress, the phase of stress response. When stress occurs, our body triggers an alarm response, i.e., mobilizes the body's defenses. The first phase of the stress response is the shock phase, in which we note the occurrence of the first signals of stimulation of the body. The stress response begins in the brain. The brain cognitively interprets stimulus that is defined as a threatening or unpleasant. Even in the case of objective stressors, acting without our will, for example, noise, extreme temperatures, or low lighting, an emotional reaction is triggered in the hypothalamus, from where the psychological response begins. We can divide stress reactions into psychological, related to the muscular sphere, and the vegetative hormonal sphere, pallor, sweating, rapid heartbeat, muscle tone, tightening, changes in the body pressure, muscle drainage. Emotional, anxiety, depression, nervousness, anger, embarrassment, excessive tendency to cry, escape or agitation. Cognitive, gaps in memory, inability to concentrate, obsessive sticking to certain ideas. Behavioral, speech difficulties, impulsiveness, tremor, nervous tics, high and nervous laughter, teeth grinding, more frequent accidents, heavy smoking, drinking large amounts of alcohol, unjustified drug use, hunger pangs. Each person has their own psychological limit, an individual level of resistance to stress, after which the ability to react significantly decreases, mental paralysis, and in extreme cases, physical paralysis. Each of us has a different stress response pattern. When in our caregiver's work a stressful situation occurs, for example, sudden collapse of our senior, our reaction can be very diverse. For some of us, hands starts to shake. We cannot remember the phone to call an ambulance. Others will sweat very much. They will feel dry throat, heart numbing anxiety that hinders action, etc. When performing the work of a senior carer, you should regularly identify your own sources of stress related to your professional life, but also personal life, and learn to recognize the way your body reacts. By learning about the sources of stress and how to respond to it, you'll be able to learn how to effectively manage stress by choosing methods that are appropriate for your type and level of stress. Let's follow to the next video. We will talk about identification of personal stressors at work.